Well, again, another episode of How Not to Criticize the MCU, episode 5. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at this YouTuber, the name of which I've never heard of before, named LegendaryBadass. So basically, he did a review/rant on Avengers Infinity War, and from what I've seen, yeah, it's pretty obvious, it's not good. From what the most recent videos of this, it's not good. So, let's just get right into it. And of course, let's just get this shit overdone with and see what his hot take is on this film. And of course, my response to this video is probably much needed.
War, the Mad Titan Thanos, voiced by Josh Brolin, sets out to find the 6 Infinity Stones, which would make him the most powerful being in the universe, capable of dissolving half the universe's population with the snap of his fingers. As he sees it, a necessary solution to America's broken sex education system that has turned your daughter into a slut trying to land an MTV series. Naturally, it's up to the Avengers, Earth's greatest heroes, to stop him. Plenty of action. If you want to see a superhero slugfest, this is your drug.
Oh yeah, true, because this film is my drug. Every time I watch it, I totally get high.
I have a major gripe with how this movie starts. Why does Thanos start off with the Power Stone and Thor's ship from the end of Ragnarok is already destroyed? You're telling me Thor, Loki, Hulk, and whoever the hell else couldn't have stopped him? Battle should have been shown.
I don't think we really need to see how Thanos and his Black Order army, or the children of Thanos, do we really need to see them killing off the other Guardians characters? Yeah, maybe, but I don't think we don't need to. We can just make up for our imaginations, especially when you criticize how we may see Xander, how Thanos got the Purple Stone, aka the Power Stone, which is basically the thing of the whole story. Do we really need to see that stuff? In a certain degree, yeah, but then it'll be exposition heavy. But we don't really need to see that. We can use our imaginations, or how we can fill in the blanks ourselves, how it goes on for general audiences, even fans alike. So I don't really get your argument that we need a big action scene to be an opening movie. It starts off a cold opening. I think that's what we needed for Infinity War. We don't need a big bombastic action for an opening scene after what Ragnarok left in the mid-credits scene for that film. So I don't get your argument on that, so big deal.
But do directors, the Russo brothers, know how spider sense works? It's not the bat signal. An alien ship touching down a mile away doesn't trigger a dodge move, so nothing would be tingling. What's more, how hard up is NYC for school bus drivers when they have a guy in his 90s behind the wheel who could die any minute?
This review is nothing but nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. Okay, let's just get this spider sense out of the way. Okay, the reason why Peter senses the big alien ship is coming to New York is not because how it's a bat signal thing. It's basically how he senses danger, especially with the big ship as big as Goosebumps danger when he knows something's going on. That's definitely how it says spider sense going on. We've seen it before with previous Spider-Man films, even incarnations, if it's for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. Even the most recent one from Tom Holland's, especially in No Way Home, is a good prime example of this, of how he said there's a Green Goblin occurring. And heck, even the Spider-Verse animated films know how to do spider sense very well. So I don't really get your argument on this whole how it's a bat signal thing, which, yes, it's not a bat signal thing, but it's a hint of danger that something's going to happen. And also, you're arguing about the whole Stan Lee's driving the bus, he'll die in a minute. You do realize he was just filming on a green screen, right? He was just driving the bus, but it's in a green screen. He's not actually driving it, you know. So I don't get your argument. And it's just a cameo scene for Stan Lee. We've seen that before in previous MCU movies and also pre-MCU movies as well. So I don't get your argument on this, because your stance on your opinions on the Avengers Infinity War does not make sense at all. So this is nothing like I previously mentioned. It's just a nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. So let's just continue on this shit. I'm getting really fed up with this guy.
The music is horrendous. You have to admit it. Thor had Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song as a theme in Ragnarok, and now they can't afford it. Guardians of the Galaxy's single 70s R&B tune aside, rest of the film is filled with generic AF bombastic orchestral riffs, mostly horn-driven. I realize the Avengers have a theme, but you can't hum it. Go ahead and try. I'll wait. Told ya.
You stuck-up, sadistic, shit-eating, cock-sucking, butt-fucking, penis-smelling, crotch-grabbing, ball-licking, semen-drinking, dog-raping, Nazi-loving, child-touching, cow-humping, perverted, spineless, heartless, mindless, dickless, testicle-choking, urine-gargling, jerk-offing, horse-face, sheep-fondling, toilet-kissing, self-centered, feces-puking, dildo-shoving, snot-spitting, crap-gathering, big nose, monkey-slapping, bastard-screwing, bean-shitting, fart-knocking, sack-busting, splooge-tasting, bear-blowing, head-swallowing, bitch-snatching, hand-jobbing, donkey-caressing, mucus-spewing, anal-plugging, hole-grabbing, uncircumcised, sewer-sipping, whoremongering, piss-swimming, midget-munching, douchebag, hoe-biting, carnivorous, mail-order prostituting asshole!
What do you mean by that? What are you expecting? I know it's made from Disney, but for fuck's sake, dude. What are you expected to do? Avengers go to Disneyland and singing It's a Small World? And Thanos singing Be Prepared? Jesus Christ, my guy. What do you mean you can't hum it for the Avengers theme? Yes, I can. I can hum it when I sit in the toilet taking a shit. Listen to your argument. So, the reason why they had to use it, because the soundtrack for the film is serviceable for the story, especially the one you're talking about with Guardians of the Galaxy, when you first introduce them when they're flying to save someone from the Asgardian ship. But you do realise that's only a service purpose for that bit for the Guardians introduction. And for majority of the film, it's just Alistair Vestio's music score throughout. So you're honestly looking for some nitpicking and some complaining. So there's a different way how to use the soundtrack, especially when you mentioned how you use Led Zeppelin's song from Thor Ragnarok. You do realise it's a soundtrack choice for the film. That's a completely subjective thing, dude. That's a completely subjective thing. But you don't really need an Avengers soundtrack for the majority of the film. Now, do we need some music or song choices in there? Maybe you could, but I don't think you really need it for this one, because it's the score, and Avengers' score is the most important one. So, fuck off.
Further airing of grievances will require spoilers. The motif of Marvel Studios' heroes being immature knuckleheads continues. Instead of high schooler infighting like in previous appearances, Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, conveniently sabotages their efforts, throwing a fit seconds before sealing a deal against Thanos. This is particularly troublesome since he should have learned his lesson from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Perhaps funnier than it should have been, given the plot, there's no emotional weight to any death in Avengers Infinity War.
Okay, so your argument is basically when Peter Quill takes a hissy fit with Thanos after he finds out that Gamora's dead and he's got the Soul Stone instead of her bringing her back. So basically he lost the fight. Dude, you do realize that this film does have emotional weight to the overall story, okay? So basically, Peter Quill cannot control himself because he lost everything. You have to pay attention to his character arc throughout the first two Guardians movies. 1, he lost his mum at a young age due to Ego killing her by putting a tumor in her head. And 2, he lost Yondu, his second father. Why can you not fucking understand that Peter Quill has gone through some emotions? Gamora was the only last thing of his happiness, and it's not till Thanos took her away from him and basically throwing Gamora off the cliff to get the Soul Stone. So I don't get your fucking argument in that statement here, guy, man. Look, your argument is that there's no emotional weight. There is emotional weight. The characters we all seen through Iron Man all the way up to this film alone. So I don't really get your argument on this, how you're saying there's no emotional weight. Well, technically there is. There's a lot of build up to it. So I don't get your argument if all these stuff has happened, especially all the characters we all grew up in love with. So what's the point of that?
Showing the ability to turn back time, we know it's bound to happen again and thus undo the finger snap of doom that took out half the universe's population and all but the core most Avengers. Sadly, Black Widow remains.
Sexist.
Also, isn't it a little like this is the Alien 3 of the Avengers movies? I mean, it is the third one, and come on, tell me Loki is not Hicks and Valkyrie is not Newt. Post-credit stingers in Marvel Studios films can be hit or miss. Like earlier entries, this one makes room to introduce a new character, showing S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury send a distress signal out to someone only identified by a symbol. but you're supposed to eagerly fangirl over it knowing this is Captain Marvel. Not that Nick knew it as he was dissolving, but 50% chance she turned to dust too. I think Brie Larson's Captain Marvel origin film will be the next MCU release, then it's probably up to her to carry the load in Avengers Endgame. Brace yourself for Ray 2.0.
You know what? I'm not going to answer that question, so I'm not going to bother to respond to that one. So I'm not going to bother, because you're being sexist there, my guy. You're being sexist. Anyway, so in conclusion, if you're just going to be nitpicking, don't be a nitpicker. If you're going to do a movie that you don't like, at least justify yourself, or at least explain your points. I've seen better movie critics or better YouTubers can explain their stuff properly. Even if something is unpopular opinion, at least I can get behind them. At least they can split their points, even though I can agree to disagree. But this is the one that's mostly nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking. So, in conclusion, don't be a nitpicker, guys. Don't be a nitpicker like Legendary Badass, or more like Legendary Dumbass, more like. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss this new video every time I put this out, wherever I do this. And of course, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.